Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Mark Parham podcast. Today, I wanted to talk about really two things, but I'll probably mention a few other things. But the first thing I want to talk about is the border crisis. I keep on turning on the television, and you see all these images of people trying to, cross the border to get into America. And to me, it's sort of strange because, you know, these countries that allow their citizens to come to America, you notice they're very tight when it comes to Americans coming to their country. If I tried to get into Mexico or one of these other countries, they would probably want to see my papers. They would probably, want to know if I've broken any laws or, just regular questions that you would ask any person trying to come to your country. These other countries always lecture Americans and tell us that, we need to be more open to different cultures of people and all the other excuses they make. And nothing's wrong with immigration, but we need people to come here legally. We need people to come here with the proper paperwork so we know who they are. I mean, I always sort of compare it to leaving your door open or leaving your door unlocked at your house. You wouldn't just leave your door unlocked. Even if you live in a safe neighborhood, you wouldn't just leave your door unlocked so anybody could get into your house. You would probably sit up and, put your locks on maybe in the daytime or nighttime, just in case. And, same thing with America. We just can't allow folks to just randomly come over here. So we do need a border wall. And this is something that we've been debating since forever. I mean, I remember in the 80s, they were talking about immigration, the 90s. We've gotten into the 2000s and we're still talking about the same thing. And what amazes me is that Republicans and Democrats keep on going back and forth. It's always an argument where, oh, well, the Democrats are weak on immigration or the Republicans need to be doing this and that. It's like a back and forth sort of, chess match. And in my opinion, as someone who's a former Republican, I think both parties, they don't want to do anything. I think Republicans and Democrats like people to come over here so corporations can get cheap labor. I think, this whole fight on, oh, well, this person's tough and this person's weak on immigration. I think that's a smokescreen because, I mean, look at turn on your TV, look at any, technology blog or any blog about NASA and space. And, we're building rockets that can go to the moon, that can, come back to Earth and land themselves and all this other stuff. But we can't, create a border fence. It's something that we've been going back and forth, both parties for decades, at least in my lifetime. And it's just like a big food fight. Nothing gets done. I think the only president that really, halfway did something was Donald Trump. But I mean, you see how CNN and MSNBC were making it sound like he was some hardcore racist and all this other stuff just because he wanted to keep America safe. Other countries, they don't allow just random people to come over. And, if these people do come to America, from Mexico and these other countries, then, we need to just send them back. It's not necessarily racism and all this other stuff that the liberal media wants to, say, but we just can't allow anybody to come over here. Some of these folks coming over here might be criminals. We don't know if some of these folks over here are, felons and drug dealers and just all sorts of stuff. So beyond racism, we need to know who these people are. I mean, to me, that's reasonable. And again, we need to start building a border wall. I mean, it's amazing that this is a debate, but there's some folks, in power positions that they want people just to come over here, willy nilly. And some of the Democrats also want all of these, random people to come over here because they think, well, this will help with my election. If I can get some of these Latinos over here, then maybe they'll vote for the Democrats and we can say that the Republicans are evil and racist and, all the buzzwords and stuff that they like to use in the media. And to be honest with you, some of these Latinos and some of these Mexicans or, just people coming across the border, some of these folks don't support the Democrats. Some of these folks are into their families. Some of these folks are pro-life. Some of these folks are, conservative. And so, the Democrats thinking, well, we'll just allow anybody to come over here and, we'll automatically get votes. That's not necessarily the case. Um, it's funny because, you see all of these, governors talk about, well, we're a sanctuary state, and mayors, we're a sanctuary city, the back and forth they do. And I think that it was the governor of Texas. He sent some some migrants, or immigrants, however you like to say it, but he sent some folks to, I think it was Martha's Vineyard or something, and people were having a fit. There were all of these folks with these who are these liberals that vote for Hillary and Obama. All these folks were losing their minds. Oh well, we don't want them here because X, Y, and Z. All the typical excuses. It's funny when the problem is in a lot of these folks' backyards. All of a sudden they come up with 50 million excuses. These are the folks that label everybody else racist when they get on MSNBC and CNN. So to me, it's amazing that all of a sudden, we don't have room for them, and, all the typical excuses that these liberals use. So, I mean, to handle the problem once and for all, we just need to build a border wall, which, I mean, we can easily do that. America, we're a smart country. We get things done. And we also need to, like I said, build the border wall, but we also need to hire, I would say, hire as many border agents as possible. You hear all of this stuff in the media. Oh, well, the border agents are racist and this and that. But I mean, after the day, they're keeping folks from coming over here that, might be criminals. So I think we need to hire more border agents and, keep some of the Trump policies in place. The crazy thing is that Biden was trying to get rid of some of the Trump policies. And I'm like, the Trump policies kept immigration, at all-time low compared to the other presidents. So, that's my opinion on immigration. Another thing I want to talk about is the homeless crisis in California. It's amazing to me that you have all of these rich liberals that live in California that drive these expensive cars. They pass these folks every day, but get on TV and lecture, people about, how to solve the homeless problem and all this other stuff. And I would say, why don't some of these, rich people in Silicon Valley and San Francisco and all these places, why don't they put their money where their mouth is? Sit up and when I build a facility that can, house these folks, since, they always want to lecture everybody else about how, Republicans and people who are right wing don't care and all this other stuff. Take some of those billions of dollars and come up with, build some facilities so we can, put some of our homeless veterans and some of the people who have been sleeping on the streets for years, in a place where they can at least take a shower and maybe eat a nice meal. We look how much money we spend in, the Ukraine. And we have folks here that are veterans sleeping on the streets. I mean, if you look at Skid Row and these places that I see online, it's horrible. I mean, California is a place with a lot of wealth, and to have such a problem in some of these areas, it's amazing to me. And so I just find it amazing, and I find it just blows my mind that people like Gavin Newsom and some of these folks, who work in Silicon Valley in the tech sector, always lecture people about compassion, and they get in their fancy cars and they drive past these folks all day long. I mean, I was looking at San Francisco. They were giving out free needles and folks were on the streets, and it's a mess. And I mean, beyond people sleeping on the streets, it's a safety hazard. I mean, you don't know if some of these homeless people are going to attack somebody. You don't know, you're stepping over drug needles. It's horrible. I mean, can you imagine walking somebody to school? Or if you're an older person, imagine, you're trying to go to work and you have to pass people who are former crackheads and people who are shooting up right in front of you. I mean, taking needles and sticking them right in their arm, doing drugs right in front of you while you're trying to go to work, or, put your headphones on and listen to some music on the train or something. So it's just, it's a horrible situation. And, again, we're a country, we have tons of resources. I mean, we have a lot of money in this country, We're a very rich nation. We have a lot of billionaires, a lot of problem solvers, and those to me are the two things that I see that we could solve, in the snap of a finger. But we don't. We like to, go back and forth. We like to lecture everybody else, get on these news channels, and come up with all of these solutions, and nobody wants to put any action into place. I find it really strange that we're worried about the border in Ukraine and what's going on there when we should be using some of those funds to, at least build some housing for our homeless veterans. I mean, we have folks who are veterans that are being treated like garbage. Folks who are veterans that have to work at Walmart and work minimum wage jobs just to support themselves. I mean, these are people who fight for our country, and the least we could do is make sure they're okay. I mean, I think there should be a fund put up in place where, if veterans need money, the government will assist them something. Because, I mean, just to keep on giving all of our money to the Ukraine and, you look at what's going on here, we should worry about America first. And let some of these other countries that are close to the Ukraine, let some of those other countries like Germany and France, let those countries step up. I mean, America doesn't have to keep on spending on everybody else. We need to take that money and support the folks who live right here. I mean, even if you look at what's going on in the United States, we'll sit up and do all of these programs so, immigrants can get free college and, housing, and folks who live here are struggling. I mean, it's so bad. Even people who are working, good paying jobs, they're being priced out of the market when it comes to being able to find a home or apartment. It's a mess. And no, that's all I have to say. I just wanted to, talk about those two topics really quick. Thanks for listening to me. I know I ramble sometimes, but if you want to follow me on Twitter, go to twitter.com / Mark Parham _ So twitter.com / MarkParham is in Mary, and then _ if you want to follow me on Twitter. But just, let me know how you feel about what I've been saying. And anyway, have a good day, and that's all I have to say. Thanks.